Good day. Everybody out there is having a good one. It's your first time to the channel. What we usually do here is we follow people's suggestions and rather than algorithms, and it's let us find a bunch of music that we never would have found any other way. We have a lot of playlists that reflect all the music that we found along the journey, and there's been so many new artists as well coming onto the scene and really making a presence for better or for worse, depending on who you are. And it seems like, there's some artists out there that are really, for lack of a better term, striking a chord with folks, and people can really relate with some of these artists. I've talked, about IMA and, Ren and this gentleman right here, Mr. Oliver Anthony. The connectability with songs and lyrics and stuff that you can really connect with on the level of not somebody some big pop star in a rich place is almost talking down to you in a way. This is some real talk type stuff, but it's been a while since we've been back to see what he's been up to, so let's check this out. Somebody was telling me I should check this out, that it's different than the stuff that we listen to, so let's check it out. Oh, pretty puppies. The moving blankets.
Well, she got a side to her I wanna run from. She'll turn a warm afternoon into a cold, cold one. Well, he grabbed the apple and Adam took a bite, and now all these years later, and the mask still ain't right with a scornful woman. I used to sleep so good, didn't have a nightmare. I was busy dreaming, believing he's always gonna be right there. And now the middle of the day is like the middle of the night, and the court says 50-50, but the math don't seem right with a scornful woman.
Violin really makes it, man. We're in the fiddle territory.
Well, she can have all the money, they can keep all the fame. I go back to being broke as a joke if I could just get a break from the pain.
Play it, brother. Dude, really? Wow. Okay. Oh, I like how it kind of like leaves you like, wow. because it could, just as easily pick right back up. And, but wow. Okay. I got stuff to say. First of all, if you haven't heard this gentleman yet, I would highly encourage you to go over, check out his YouTube, check him out on all the places that you can. Please, I say this a lot, go support. If you want to show support to an artist, do it in the most supportive way that you can. And I'm not going to tell you not to go to Spotify, but I'm going to tell you that Spotify isn't the most supportive thing. Even sharing a video, going over to their YouTube and sharing their videos would be gain more support and ground, even in a monetary fashion, than Spotify ever will. Them Spotify numbers are cool and all, for if you're into arbitrary numbers and all that, but we live in a time where we can directly support the artists that we connect with and that we want to see flourish. And sometimes, and I've talked about this before, friggin' record companies will get in the way. They will keep offering money. They'll keep there'll be record companies that you don't this is some independent, it's some, well, what it is it's a subsidiary. So it's like this little other branch really owned by Geffen, Sony, whoever down the road. And they go out, they find these acts, and, oh yeah, we'll sign you up for, an independent deal and all that stuff. Meanwhile, they don't realize that they're really signing with a much bigger entity. There's there's labels out there right now that's how they kind of scout, music and stuff. But they can also scout music, find it, and think, this is going to be too competitive with what I have going on right now. I'm going to shelve this. So with them having the rights and all, we would never hear this because they would shelve it, per se. I'm not saying that's what they, would do. They'd be silly to. But that's what happens so much of the time. And that's why the music, these big music peeps are like, just keep doing the same thing. Keep making money, keep following the formula. Well, the formula's wearing out and people are getting sick of it. Look, you can go over and check out Rick Beato's channel. He's got a video about, writers and stuff. And you would not believe, there's a handful of writers that have written most of the music that's popular right now, from Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, all the way down the list. And, there's so many artists that you think they're right. They're not. They're not. They have writers that are helping them. And, of course, they're tweaking stuff. They're making it their own. And, and they're being, the musician that they are. But at the end of the day, you start to notice after a while, like, some of these songs from different artists are even starting to kind of sound similar. Well, it's because they're all using the same formula with the same ingredients. So that's what happens. And it's only going to get worse with the, introducing AI into the mix. Because if a record company is going to be able to, they'll put out them large language models on their own stuff that they've licensed. They got enough of it. Big record companies do. You think they won't use AI to its full capacity and try to make money? They'll make whole AI bands. They'll figure, hey, if a band like, Metal Glock or whatever can do it and go on tour with Baby Metal, then why can't we just make a whole AI band? Because soulless, even, an animated band had real musicians behind it. And this is real musicians here, hammering it out in the most rawest, best, awesome form. Sorry for that whole rant about, what record companies can do. It's just, I'm glad that we have an artist like this that hasn't been grabbed a hold of. We have artists that are like, you know what? No, I'm good. You keep your money and I'm going to go do my own thing. Okay. So cool. Okay. You cool? All right, cool. That's, it takes somebody with, some moral standing, some principles, and very steadfast on their principles. They don't just, talk the talk, they walk the walk. And that's, it's so easy because there's so much money to be had out there. It's so easy to just be bought up and take the paycheck and go live your life. Go somewhere else. We'll sit here and mine, the your music or your art for money. Here's a few mil. And when you're somebody that's struggling or whatever, but when you're somebody that is appreciative of the simple life and really doesn't want all that and wants to just be able to share their music with as many people as they possibly can on their own terms, come on now. This is where, this is where it's at. This is what we really, need to be appreciative from. Now, as far as how they put this song together, I love the whole idea that, there's a lot of bands that will even rent houses and they'll turn houses into makeshift studios. Because, they a lot of reasons. Sometimes monetary reasons, or it's just, it gives them a better way of writing and stuff and, a better atmosphere for them than perhaps a studio environment would produce. Maybe if they're living in the studio that they're actually writing music in, you'll get a better album. Like Incubus did that with, I think, their second album or something like that. Anyway, the fact that using the moving blankets, all the stuff, and this guy wailing right out on the, come on, man. I mean, and this is the thing. This is very simple. Okay. And I don't want to make it seem like it's, more simple than it really, because it's a beautiful song. It's got some awesome melodies, but the thing is what I'm trying to mean by simple is there's just basically the three of them and a drummer. There's not a whole lot, they're rocking out, but I mean, this is totally, it's raw, it's perfect, it's just brilliant. And it's just, yeah, it leans right into that, that old school bluesy feeling kind of rock that you would get out of this area as well. So I kind of love that. Music's kind of coming around full circle, and we're getting back to some awesome places. And I think that there's a new generation of what will look back as not entirely folk singers, but served the same purpose that the folk singers of old, the Joni Mitchells, the Bob Dylans, and a lot of the folk artists from the 60s and such, even the 70s, that, were really putting it out there and, just laying it out no matter what the topic would be, just putting their heart and soul right out there. And that's this. This isn't highly produced. This isn't, overly, dubbed and stuff in the studio. This is just raw, awesome blanket fort type studio awesomeness. I could tell you a whole story about a blanket fort studio in Maine, but we'll leave that for another day. It's one of the best studios up in Maine. Those moving blankets are great sound dampeners. Just pro tip, they work and they're fairly cheap for what you get. So yeah, if you're ever looking for a cheap sound dampener and don't want to go through all the foam and all that stuff, yep, moving blankets. They do a great job, and especially in this kind of thing where the way that they're trying to mic everything up and all that. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Can't say enough awesome stuff. It's just, yeah, beautiful. And I love the way he plays that guitar. He's got his like signature sound now. You know, it's like really just the way he plays and everything. When you start hearing him play, it's like you can tell it's him, and he's already, you know, ingrained his style into the zeitgeist, and that's wonderful. This is awesome to see. We love this. This is the stuff that, you know, back in the 90s we were hoping music would get to, and you know, it's good to see that it can flourish on its own without big millionaires getting in the way. But they seem to cause more problems than they do good a lot of times, especially in the music areas. Well, we don't talk about the other areas, but sometimes they cause a big ruckus and make a mess in the music areas. Just saying. But yeah, awesome stuff. Check out all of our. We're gonna have you all linked up to all the places and all the stuff that you can go do to show some support. Go show some support in the most supporty way that you can. And definitely like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Definitely comment a band or an artist or somebody that we should be checking out and sharing with the rest of the class. We would really like to check them out and show the rest of the peeps. So don't be afraid to leave a comment and let us know. We'll try to get to them as soon as humanly possible. Have a great day out there, everybody. Hope your day's going as good as it possibly can be. We got tons more news, reviews, reacts, all that good stuff. See you in the next one.